Alright, so today what we're going to be doing is making a wire wrapped bracelet without the beads, just because it's a little bit easier to do that the first time around. And so we're going to start off with 20 gauge copper wire, and we're going to cut two pieces that are about 6 or 7 inches. So if you take a look at that, I want two pieces that are the same. That. Again, this is that 20 gauge wire. If your wire is coming off of a spool and it's got a lot of kinks in it, you may want to take your nylon jaw pliers and go ahead and straighten it out. But these, that's pretty straight, so I'm not going to worry about it. And we are going to be folding these over. So I'm just going to take these and pass the ends past each other and then pull until it creates a little loop on the end. I'm going to do that for both of them. And the reason that I pull on the ends is that it makes the loop a little bit nicer, as opposed to whether I would squeeze it on the end. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of straighten that out a little bit, so it kind of looks like a hairpin. Okay, and I got a little bit of a kink in it again, so straighten that out too. Okay, do that with both of these. And if you notice when you look at this one, they are intertwined. So what I'm going to do is, it's always fun, I'm going to start with one and I'm going to put it through like that. And then what I have to do is kind of hold that and back this up to push these through. And it actually works pretty good when they crisscross like that, because they kind of grab on to the top side of it, and it makes it easier to pull them together like that. Okay, and so I've got my intertwine happening there. If I pull it a little tighter, it'll kind of hold a little bit better. Alright, and just going to go ahead one more time, just going to pull those straight. Same thing over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to a 24 or 22 or 26 gauge wire. Okay, this is a brown 26 gauge wire. I'm going to do that so I have contrast. If you want to hide your wrap, you can do it the same color. It doesn't have to be a different color. So to get into these, in here you can see this is 26 gauge, it's a brown, another colored copper. I'm going to pull this plastic piece off the outside. That helps keep the spool from coming undone. And I'm just going to start with a section of wire, maybe about a little more than a foot. And then once I've got that cut, I'm going to take that plastic and put it right back over top of it so that it doesn't go all over the place. Okay, and now for this next step, what I want to do, I'm going to take my needle nose pliers, and about 1 inch away from the end, I'm going to make a fold. Okay, and it's going to kink the wire quite a bit. Okay, I want that on there so that I'm going to make like a hook. So I'm going to put so that the 1 inch side is down, away from me. I'm going to hook it over the top of the other two. Okay, and then I'm going to switch. I'm going to grab my needle nose pliers again, and I want to pinch so that I'm grabbing the 1 inch piece, and I'm going to switch hands so that I've got the other piece over the top. I'm kind of hold that together, pinch that tight so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm going to start to wrap this around really tight. Now, as I do this, I do want to try and make sure that those lay flat so they don't have a lot of gaps, and I want to make sure that the wires are really tight together as I'm doing my wrapping. And I want to go around probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 times, just until you're comfortable with how it looks. But the key is just make sure you wrap as close together as you can with the coils, and that you make it as tight as you can. Okay, and when I finish this, if you look, I should have about 1 inch sticking out one side, and then I'm going to cut off and leave about 1 inch sticking out the other side, and I have them both are on the bottom side of my bracelet, or what I'm going to call the bottom side of my bracelet. And I got a little bit of space right here, so I'm going to squeeze this together just to make sure that I don't have those gaps. So it's still sliding around, and that's okay for right now. Okay, and I'm going to repeat with the second side.